Mom gave me a reason for hope. Last week I was hanging out with my mom and my brother Alexander, and I was working on a board game where you try to defeat intergalactic conspiracies and set the galaxy free by playing virtue cards, as one does. And so I needed one more virtue to put on a card, and I asked my mom what was her favorite virtue. And Mom said, prayerfulness. So I asked Mom to tell me more because I was curious and because I had trouble figuring out how prayerfulness would help you blow up enemy spaceships. Mom said that for many years she spent a lot of time in prayer telling God what he should be doing in the lives of her children. But little by little, she had been learning that God loved her children even more than she did. And so in prayer, she can listen to him and let things go. That's what Mom meant by prayerfulness. And that gave me a reason for hope when I have people I care about and I don't know how to help them. I can remember that God loves those people even more than I do. What is your reason for hope? Well, let me tell you a few more of mine. When I was growing up, I had several ways. Well, let me tell you some of mine. When I was growing up, I failed my brother Adam in some key ways, mostly by looking down on him and by just not caring very much. Even after I got a sense that things weren't right, that things were off course, I still didn't know how to make things better. One Christmas, Adam came home and gave me a handwritten note that said he forgave me unconditionally for all the ways I had hurt him. Today, Adam and I are friends, and we like spending time together. For me, this is a reason for hope. God's mercy is at work in my life through people around me in ways I could not earn. And if I had time, I could tell you more stories. I had a friend who was very sick and who got better. I had someone I respected a lot that I thought was making a mistake, not doing things right. Turns out they were right. I had someone whom I heard was really struggling in their faith. And when I talked to them a few months later, they had had Jesus help them in powerful ways to have faith. And I had someone I was praying for every day open up their hearts and tell someone else about the ways they were suffering. And all that happened before I even knew the person was suffering. Actually, that last one has happened to me like more than once. All these stories, they give me a reason for hope. When I look around and I don't understand what God's doing, I remember stories like this, and that God is at work in the lives of people around me in ways that I often don't notice. Maybe not at all, or maybe not till a lot later. And most of all, here is my big reason for hope. The Son of God came down to earth as a human being. He became friends to people like me so that people like you could pass down those stories for many years. And I could meet Jesus through the church in the sacraments and have him as my friend. When Jesus died on the cross, he unchained, unlocked so many chains of oppression. And the beautiful and sad part of the story where my friend died for me, that's not the end of the story. That's the middle of the story. Because Jesus rose from the dead, just like he promised. He said, I will not leave you orphans. I will come to you. He rose from the dead, and so there is here on earth the possibility, the power for healing and renewal and transformation and growth. And after life here on earth, there is heaven and the resurrection of the body. Because I have such a dear friend, I can believe, I have hope that selfishness and excess and timidity won't have the last word in my life. I have such a strong friend. I believe, I have hope that God can make all things work for the good for those who love him. And because I have such a true friend, I have hope that though there's many things in life I can't understand, many parts of life I don't know how it works, I don't have to understand everything, and I don't have to be able to fix it all, because I know a guy who can. St. Peter told us today, be prepared to tell everyone a reason for your hope, but do it with gentleness and reverence. A gentle and reverent way that we can tell others the reason for our hope is to share with them the stories, the memories, the facts that give us hope. Sons and daughters, this is a powerful way that you can bless your moms. If you're lucky, like me, to have a good mom, then you know that mom likes knowing what's going on in your life, right? She loves hearing about how God is helping you and knowing how you are growing. So you can bless your mom by sharing with her the hopes you have and why you have those hopes, the reason for your hope. As our invitation today, we want to help you get ready to do that by having you take a moment to notice the reasons you have for hope. Moms, this is also a powerful way that you can bless your children. Because you have a deep love for your children, you have a special insight into the gift that they are, the way God loves them, and the potential in them. You see the gift that's already there. So why not tell your children, not just that you have hope for them or that they can have hope, why not tell them the reason for your hope, the stories, the memories that you've seen, that you've lived from your own experience that make you hope that God is going to bless your children. To help you get ready for that, our invitation this week is for you to take a moment and notice the reasons you have for hope. And friends, for all of us, there is this great reason for hope. Jesus Christ is at work in our lives, helping us grow, leading us to abundant life. One powerful way we can grow as his disciples is by sharing our faith with others. When we share our faith with others, when we share with them the reason for our hope, we grow and we help other people have more hope too. And you know what's pretty great? Sometimes simple stories are just as powerful for helping people as the big grand ones. Jesus said that if we loved him, he would come to us and he would dwell with us. And that happens to ordinary people like you and me, ordinary Christians living in South St. Louis. So you do have those memories. You do have those stories that are the reasons why you have hope. Now, I know that when you get put on the spot, it can be hard to bring those memories back at a moment's notice, right? You can lock up, you can freeze. Sometimes that happens to me. But that's why today we want to invite you to prepare for that moment you're going to have to share your hope with others by taking a little time reflecting about the reasons you have hope. The stories, the memories, the experiences that you've had that point out that there is reason for hope. So that's today's invitation. And our bonus invitation is for you to tell one of those stories to your mom or to your child. Now, if there's an obstacle that means you can't tell your mom, call her up, talk to her in person, straightforward, like, your reason for hope. Remember, you can always share by prayer. Think of a reason for hope. Tell Jesus that reason for hope and ask him to pass it on.